Ijaw. Abimri pura. Ijaw. Ijaw kame miao. Ado. Your Excellencies, the Governor, Miracle Governor of Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of our dear state, as the President of our highly revered, most foremost social-cultural organization, but as a conduit for the collective voice of our people. A people defined by resilience, dignity, integrity, slow to anger, peace-loving, and an unwavering commitment and uncommon determination for justice, unity, equity, and self-determination. We assemble here as concerned, responsible, and patriotic Ijaw leaders in our own rights. At this pivotal and crucial juncture in our history, to soberly reflect on issues that pose a threat to our existence, including our individual and corporate well-being. It is therefore imperative to stress that this decisive moment demand no lamentations, no regrets, but a clarity of vision, resolute actions, and strategic exactness. It is common knowledge that the Ijaw people, in spite of being one of the 4 largest ethnic nationalities in this country, have for too long suffered and endured economic marginalization and deprivation, environmental degradation, human rights abuses, neglect, and social exclusion, and many other maladies that have threatened our survival, peace, and sustainable development. This reality becomes more regrettable when considered against the fact that the Ijaws have, since the birth of this country, made enormous contributions for the overall all-round sustainability of this hegemonic nation. We can no longer continue to be slaves and beggars in our own land that is stupendously endowed with resources that can make anyone, anywhere in the world great, prosperous, and happy. The recent imposition of emergency rule and suspension of our dear son, His Excellency Governor Siminalayi Fubara, under whatever guise, constitute a grave assault on the principles of justice, democratic governance, and the sanctity of the people's mandate. This audacious infraction on our peoples in Rivers State, who have been denied governance for over 24 years. 24 years is not a partisan issue. It is a fundamental challenge to the constitutional framework that safeguards our rights and autonomy and the autonomy of every Nigerian citizen. It is therefore a clarion call for the Ijaw nation and all advocates of justice at the national and international levels to stand unequivocally in defense of constitutional order and inherent rights of every ethnic nationality to prosper without coercion or suppression. The recent unguided, disgustive, inflammatory, provocative utterances and actions taken against us by one Ikwere-born inconsequential drunk and cheap pawpaw leaf addict, with the support of a few of our own Rivers Ijaw brothers, and in connivance with the powers that be in the three arms of our government, are condemnable. These actions and inactions emanating from these sensitive quarters have only exacerbated our fury. To say the least, these are also considered oppression and denigration, mockery to our collective reputation. Our response to redeeming our image and reposition ourselves to assess, explore, exploit, control, and manage our God-given resources for our common good will be characterized by strategic resolve, not reactive emotions. We shall navigate this path expeditiously with wisdom, prioritizing strategic actions over impulsive reactions, and fostering unity as our impenetrable shield against division. Today, I, on behalf of the National Executive Council of the INC, employ our leaders and stakeholders to assist Congress to forge a unified front, articulate a singular purpose, and execute a coordinated strategy. The Ijaw Nation, renowned for its indomitable spirit, must now exemplify strategic leadership, not only for our immediate interest, but for the preservation of democracy, democratic values throughout Nigeria. Because this special gathering is not intended to be yet another talk shop, but an avenue to renew and revamp our commitment to properly coordinated lines of actions that will reshape the historical, legal, political, and economic landscape of the just struggle. We must not be seen to be talking too much, but to be seen as to be walking the talk, to ensure that our future generations are bequeathed to a nation that is free, peaceful, and respected internationally. Therefore, let us positively utilize this forum to develop a precise, robust, and actionable strategic plan for immediate, mid-term, and long-term implementation. The focal points in this regard should include prioritizing dialogue with strategic intent, leveraging on collective influence strategically, forging a Niger Delta solidarity, engaging in legal battles at local and international levels, establishing actionable outcomes and accountability. Let us remember that our strength is not merely numerical, but derives from our unwavering unity and love for our motherland. The Ijaw spirit, when provoked, like in times like this, and fused, is an unstoppable force. Let us transcend personal differences and vested interest, anchoring ourselves in the enduring principle of unity that has sustained us through generations. As we deliberate today, let our words and decisions be guided by strategic foresight, wisdom, and a profound awareness of our historical responsibilities. The decisions we make here will reverberate through the annals of our history. This address will be grossly inadequate if we fail to appreciate and commend our fellow Ijaw men and women of good conscience, Niger Deltans, Nigerians, and international community for their unflinching support to our cause for justice and equity. We are vindicated in our assertion that this is not an inter-ethnic war. It is not an Ijaw-Ikwere war. Neither is it a war against the Nigerian state, but a deliberate fight for state capture against the masses and leaders like Siminalayi Fubara, who believe that the commonwealth of the people must be committed to the well-being, advancement, and development of society. At this juncture, we urge the federal government of Nigeria to promptly reconsider its actions and respect the sovereign will of the people of Rivers State. The Ijaw nation will not passively witness the humiliation of its sons and daughters or the erosion of its democratic space. Before I make the final comment, let me say this. I decided not to put it down because it's very sensitive. After the death of Pa Clark, some persons had a meeting. I don't want to mention their names. They had a meeting in top places that now that Pa Clark is dead, there's no Ijaw man that can confront the government. In fact, they went further to say, after Pa Clark, all other Ijaw people can be bought over with money and power. So, a 350 Ijaw men meeting is being arranged. What they intend to do is to select people, they think that can be easily bought, powerful people, influential people amongst us. Their flight tickets are ready. The accommodation is Hilton ready. Allowances are ready. The intention is to put them together under one particular name. And if these guys are intimidated and bought over, the Ijaw nation is now bought over. It is important for us to say this because if any Ijaw man attends such a meeting, the National Executive Council of the INC will not hesitate to register that person and publish his name as an enemy of Ijaw nation. We must stand above pecuniary interest at this point. No meeting for Ijaw people should be attended without our clearance. For whatever reason, myself and Ambassador Gallo and other people will be talking. And if we must attend a meeting, the governor of Bayelsa State must be there, and a few other people who are representing the Ijaw interest must be there. Any other meeting you attend for one money or the other, you are on your own. And if you actually understand the vexatious mood of Ijaw people at this time, you will not try it. Because we are going to rain curses on you.